Today I'm going to talk about the E-Verify system, which in my opinion is the solution to the illegal immigration. First of all, I'm going to start with some facts about immigration in the United States. As a nation of immigrants, the United States of America has always welcomed people who come and live here legally. Immigration has been an important part of America's culture and a great source of increasing the nation's demographic dynamism and economic vitality. Immigrants can also bring strong opportunities for economic growth. However, illegal immigration in this country continues to be a critical issue with more than 10 million individuals residing in this country unlawfully, and the harms they brought for this nation is enormous. First of all, they causes imbalanced job markets and working environments. Although most of illegal immigrants can only get jobs that require low skills and labor forces, they still affect those legal workers who have low education background and have to compete for jobs and income with them. Vernon Briggs, a Cornell University professor of labor economics, pointed out that in order to establish their lives here, the illegal immigrants usually work harder and are more grateful to the jobs they get and are more willing to accept low wages that are impossible for citizens to meet the living standards. Those immigrants lower the wages for low-skilled citizens by 3% to 8%, around $25 a week. Imagine for a low-income family, $25 can be spent for meals for several days and could also be a boundary between suffering from starvation and being fed. This competition can cause imbalance and resentment within the work environment. Secondly, illegal immigrants increased crime rates. 20% of inmates in prison and jails are comprised of illegal immigrants, and 48 of illegal returning offenders were convicted at least one criminal offense other than illegal reentry after their first deportation. With all the facts above, I think it is understandable for those law-abiding people who feel intimidated towards illegal immigrants. Moreover, illegal immigration lead to high expenditures of the taxpayers' money. They cost U.S. taxpayers around $113 billion a year at the federal, state, and local level. And those costs include education for children of illegal immigrants, medical care, law enforcement, public assistance, etc. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement reports that they spend around $2 billion tax money a year to just make sure illegal immigration go to the court for hearings and comply with the case outcomes. For most of the illegal immigrants, since they work unofficially, they do not pay for income tax while they are enjoying those benefits. But how is this fair for others to spend hard-earned money on them? These three facts above greatly reduce people's confidence in the U.S. immigration system and also compromise their benefits and hard-earned money. Thus, the use of E-Verify system should be implemented in every state and company to help diminish the current illegal immigrants population and discourage the incoming of illegal aliens. Many people may not be familiar with the E-Verify system, which is an internet-based system that is operated by Social Security Administration and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. It is used for businesses and companies to determine the eligibility of their employees. Applicants will either receive an employment authorized result or employment non-confirmation result. If they want to defend for themselves, they can submit more information to reproof for employment authorized result. Some states such as Arizona already implemented mandate use of E-Verify, but the use of it still remains voluntarily throughout large parts of the country, which gives companies who hire illegal immigrants to obtain higher profits a chance to avoid the use of the system, and this is why the use of E-Verify system needs to be implemented in every state and every company to prevent hiring illegal immigrants. E-Verify system has a lot of benefits. First of all, it can help with illegal immigration problem. Addressing the issue of hiring unauthorized workers is essential to reduce illegal immigration, since finding employment is a major incentive for immigrants to travel to the United States. Because after applying the system, illegal immigrants will not be able to work after being identified as unauthorized workers. Their living sources will be cut off. They have to either obtain legal identity or go back to their home country. Secondly, E-Verify can help to create a fair working environment. After illegal immigration won't be able to work after applying E-Verify system, legal workers who have low education background will find jobs easier and their wage will not be suppressed by illegal immigrants. Companies will not be able to hire illegal immigrants for higher profit. Thus, fair competition between companies will be created. Lastly, the implementation of E-Verify is a good solution in terms of costs in every aspect. The program itself is provided free to all of the states and all of the companies. Under current economic situation, all of the state governments are in debt, more or less. Any more funds that are going to spend in terms of solving illegal immigration issue can pose an enormous economical burden to the states. Thus, nothing is more helpful than a totally free electronic system. Moreover, the E-Verify system is easy to operate. Don't need to install anything. The users only needs to gets the information from applicants' I-9 forms and input to the web page, and from there they can determine the eligibility of an applicant. In addition, using the system is not time-consuming. After it gets the information, it takes the system around 3 to 5 seconds to compare the data against the millions of government records to determine the eligibility of a worker. And most importantly, E-Verify requires minimum manpower. Users are only required to take an online tutorial and pass the tutorial test, which makes implementation of the system more feasible. Of course, every policy has its counter-arguments. So does E-Verify. Some people argue that mandate use of E-Verify can lead to identity theft. However, the USCIS allows the E-Verify to lock the social security numbers that appear to be stolen and used fraudulently now. And they also added a unique feature called self-lock that allows account holders to prevent their own identity by putting a lock on their social security number when they're not in use of the system. These actions can effectively prevent the issue of identity stolen. Furthermore, others may wonder that the E-Verify has high erroneous TNC rates, which is the percentage of applicants who are supposed to be authorized workers but receive a TNC result in the very beginning. The incidents happen when applicants who fail to report their recent immigration status change or name change, or accidentally entered incorrect information on their I-9 forms. But in regards to this issue, the Department of Homeland Security also has added some mechanisms to prevent this type of errors from happening in the past few years. They redesigned the interface to help reduce the data input errors, and also added self-check tool that helps applicants to detect errors in database before the information gets run by the company. According to data from USCIS, erroneous TNC rate declined from 0.7 to 0.3% in 5-year period, started in 2005, and the number is still decreasing. And the survey conducted by USCIS showed that 90% of the companies that has already used E-Verify indicated that they are confident in E-Verify's accuracy. These are all pretty good data to show the improvement of the accuracy rate of the E-Verify system. The summary of the benefits of the E-Verify is listed in the last slide. From all of the facts being mentioned throughout the entire presentation, I think the mandate use of E-Verify in every state is feasible and effective, and thus it is a good policy in terms of illegal immigration issue. Thanks.